obviously overtime game against them the first time, and now you're going into a hostile crowd. Just your thoughts on going over there.
Yeah, it's always a great place to play and one of the best home courts and one of the best crowds in college basketball. And it's just year in, year out there. It's pretty amazing to play down there, and we're looking forward to it.
You've said multiple times that the conference champion is going to have 4 losses, maybe more. Now you're just barely halfway past. Every single team has 3 losses.
Yeah.
Just how tough is it? Like, do you want to revise that number?
Yeah, you probably should. I mean, everybody's. I think it's just fascinating, really, because when you start to think one team's more dominant or what, you're not going to figure it out. It's just whoever can play. There's a lot of really good teams, and so it all kind of comes down to whoever really plays the best on that day.
Have you ever been in the league where it's been just so many teams have been so close to the top at this point?
I don't recall one like this where it's, even when we got 4 or 5 bids, I think there was 1 or 2 teams that had maybe separated just a little bit, and you don't see that with this group.
Given that kind of log jam and tiebreakers and all that, I mean, tomorrow would be a massive game, obviously, for you guys to get. I mean, I know you're looking at one game at a time, but do you recognize maybe added importance in terms of?
They really are. They're all super important, and this is a great opportunity. It's another ranked team, and like I said, one of the toughest places to play in the country, and that's just how you look at it.
You guys have had success on the road this year. You guys won at Nevada. You guys won at New Mexico. What does it take to go into these hostile environments and win?
A lot, a heck of a lot. I mean, just things. Sometimes in basketball, you get a good bounce, bad bounce. Sometimes you got to get some good bounces. Sometimes you got to get. You just have to have things line up, and then you have to have your guys play, near their best. And it doesn't mean they have to overachieve to do it. We just have to be on it, and we control what we can control our effort and energy and togetherness and all that stuff, and then let the chips fall.
After the win with the Pitt, Omar talked about how it takes being really connected as a team, being connected on the court to win those big games. How much have veterans like Max and Tyson played into that this season?
Yeah, and when you your first time going to these places, sometimes you're like, wow. I was like that first time we played down here. I remember friends of mine who coached against them had told me about it, and then it was an eye opener for me the first time I went down there, and along with a lot of other places in this league. But yeah, the more experience you get in situations like this, that's what helps you.
You've had big bounce backs in both your previous conference loss. How have the guys responded to Tuesday's night loss, and has it kind of been the same type of energy after?
Yeah, these guys are amazing. The way they lift each other up, and they're appropriate in the way these guys want to win, and but their responses have been terrific.
What did you learn about Utah State facing them last time that you saw of them in person that maybe you didn't pick up on video?
I mean, they kind of. I felt after playing them, they were who we saw on tape, and they were who their record said they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a great team, and a lot of great individuals, but a great team, and great coaches that have their assistants have a lot of experience in this league, and Danny's done just a terrific job with these guys.
Yeah, and we talk about peaking at the right time of the year and things like that. It's almost mid-February, and how important is it to start to make sure that climb is starting to happen?
Yeah, and our guys know the forest for the trees, and they know where we are in the grand scheme of things, and I'm excited for them to see what February and March brings.
With doing the Stu Morrill Court during the game, I know for Tim was there 17 years, obviously, and just for him to go back. I know he's not part of the ceremony, obviously, but just to see a lot of former teams and players. What do you think that Logan and Utah State still means to Tim?
No idea.
How about you look at what Tyson's done in terms of his efficiency these last 2 games? I think he's missed like 4 shots. It's insane.
Yeah.
What's led to his kind of success these last 2 games?
Well, he just he's a guy that just keeps getting better and better with his work, and he just puts in the time and he puts in the work, and he's a great teammate, and so. But he's just been, like I said, that guy you never underestimate how his growth is going to be consistent. And, that's what you see with him now.
You look at that last matchup, Leon. How impressive was Darius Brown?
Oh, he was terrific, you know, and he's a veteran point guard, has been through a lot. He started at Northridge under the great Trent Johnson, one of our Boise State alum, and he grew a lot, you know, as a player, and he went to Montana State, grew more there, and now what you see is a 5th-year point guard. I think he's 5th year. And he looks like that, you know, he knows how to run a team, and he's a shot maker, and you know, that's what I see in him. He's a great player.
I think you go back to that game too, and I mean, you know what you're probably going to get out of Great Ossibor, but a guy like Isaac Johnson, like he had probably one of the best games of his college career against you guys. What did he do right in that
Yeah,
game?
they've got a lot of weapons, and you know, the thing that I've seen with those guys is those weapons and those, you know, like some people call role players or whatever, but they're not, you know, they just have different strengths, and they do what they need to do, and then, you know, when they're needed to score, they're good players. They can score. When they need to make shots, they can make shots, rebound. You know, they bring what the team needs them to bring.
A couple of years ago, you were kind of like, you know, you were wanting the rest of the league kind of come along, and so the bottom of the league's good, then it helps the top half of the league, and now you look at it, and I know we talked about the log jam at the top of the standings, kind of a careful what you wish for type of thing, and how good everybody is.
No, but it's terrific. But you know, it takes some getting used to, is what it does. I mean, you know, last couple of years we haven't lost that many league games, and now night in, night out, you're playing almost everywhere you turn. There's a top 25 team, or you know, a team that you can make a case for a top 25. Maybe if they're not in it, they should be, or they could be. So that takes a little getting used to. Is that, you know, you could play good in some games, and you know, a shot doesn't go here or there, or a call doesn't go here or there, and it, you know, all of a sudden you've lost one of those. And so, but those losses aren't earth-shattering or devastating. You know, in the old days, maybe those felt that way, and they could be that way, but now it's a different deal.
With a bye week coming up, it seems like you go one of two ways with this thing. You can look forward to it and lose your focus, or maybe a veteran team knows it's like one final time to throw it all out there before you get a break.
Yeah, and I hope that's, you know, I think that's what we're kind of the way they're approaching it.
Pre-game, you know, when you go into these hostile environments, do you do anything different than you do in the other
No.
game? You don't change it. You just same routine.
Mm-hmm.
All good?
Good.